Hi guys, welcome to another video. How many more price increases are there going to be? Chanel have just had another price increase. Honestly, it looks like it's worldwide. Looking at the UK website this morning, seems to be a price increase. We'll come on to that. Louis Vuitton prices are through the roof. All the new releases. Dior have had a price increase not that long ago. Honestly, where will it end? Well, it will end if we all stop buying at these crazy prices. Let's get going. So I've been doing a little bit of tidying up and organising, and I have just pulled out some really, really old receipts. So I keep everything. And yeah, although I've talked about price increases before and the thought of what the price was of something years ago, I've got some receipts that I thought I would share with you, because actually it's proof of what the prices were and it isn't that long ago. So I thought I'd talk through some of the items that I've purchased over the years and what they are now, and we can all have a giggle at it, can't we? Because it's absolutely crazy. You might be a little bit surprised at some of these. Some have gone up a crazy amount. Some have gone up in line with what you would think, and some aren't too bad relatively. So yeah, let's have a look. This is the first one. This is the 6-ring key holder. This is in the Damier Ebene, and my goodness, you can tell from the state of it that this has been well loved, well used for years and years. I didn't stop out of this for years and years and years until I got the key clay, and then I started using that. But this has been amazing. This was £115 when I bought it, and it's a lot of years ago. It is now, when you look on the website, it is now £225. Now, you might say, okay, that's virtually double. But I would say, in the scheme of it, if you look at the actual percentage increase, it's doubled. However, it's sort of not too bad, because it's only an extra £100, which in today's money, I sort of don't think that's bad for a little piece of luxury that you can still buy from Louis Vuitton that's so functional you're going to use every single day. 225, I don't think is that bad. What do you think, guys? This one is a different matter. This is the mini pochette in Damier Ebene. I was obviously going through a Damier Ebene stage. I've had this about, I think it was 2016 when I got this. So what, 7 years I've had this. And this was £185 when I bought it, which I at the time thought was reasonable for a Louis Vuitton piece. This is now £530 for the exact same thing. It's the same canvas. There's nothing different about it. The ones that have the animation, I think Louis Vuitton do some at Christmas that have the Christmas animations on. They're even more. I think they're like 585 or going up towards 600 for those. And I just think it's fantastic as a little catch-all in your bag. I use this virtually every day, unless I'm using a mini bag. Any bigger size bag, this is coming with me, and it's amazing. But at 185, it was good value. At £530 in 7 years, no. What on earth? So for me, £100 increase in this one doesn't feel so bad compared to the price increase of this one. It's just bonkers, isn't it? Let's move on to a leather piece. So this is my pochette accessoire. Again, Louis Vuitton in the red epi-leather. I've talked about this one before. This is a real sentimental one for me. I bought this when we were with our best friends in New York, and this was a roundabout, and I can't find the receipt for this. I have no idea what I've done with it, but I seem to remember it was around about 120, and I think that was pounds. It might have been dollars. It might have even been less than that, obviously in pounds, but I think this was around about £100-ish. At the time, and this is 21 years ago. 21 years ago. I can't believe the time has just gone. Now, I don't think Louis Vuitton do this exact bag anymore, but they still do a pochette accessoire, and I found on the website today the one in monogram, which looks a very similar type of thing to this, same size and function, etc. And it's £1,010. Now, again, it's like £1,000 compared to £100, but we're talking about 20 or 21 years time. So I don't know. You can't get any bag for under £1,000 at Louis Vuitton. It's just none of them. Even the tiny pochettes are over 1,000. So that is the price value. That is the time value of money plus brand plus ridiculous markups. What do you guys think? Would you pay over £1,000 for one of these now? I suppose it's all relative, isn't it? So let's quickly talk about the Speedy and the Alma. So if you've watched my channel, you will know that this is relatively new to my collection. I've never had a Speedy before. I bought this earlier this year and I love it. This is the Speedy 25 Bandolier, obviously in the Damier Azur. This is the Alma, and this was, I think, classed as the PM, and this obviously was in the Damier Ebene, and this is 20 odd years old. This is a few months old, and you can see from the way this one has worn and the style, they are still making this exact bag now, and it's fantastic. I love it. I mean, the inside is, yeah, you can see the old dust bag in there, but you can see the interior isn't the best. However, you can still see that this has not dated. They are still making this bag. You can see it's very comparable to this bag. This was in the region of £300. This was 1,300, I think, 1,320 or something. And I think they've had a price increase since then, which I think these are around about 1,400 now. So they've gone up. And I think the Alma version of this is very similar to the price of this. So yeah, if you were to buy this exact bag from Louis Vuitton now, it would be a similar price to the Speedy of 1,400. So this has gone up over £1,000. However, it's gone up over £1,000 in 20 odd years. So in some respects, I don't think that's too bad. This one went up virtually £1,000, something like that, in 20 odd years. So in a way, is it that bad? Okay, let's quickly talk about Chanel, seeing as the whole headlines are again on Chanel price increases. It's very, very hard to find Chanel prices. I don't know what you guys think. The Chanel website is not the easiest, is it? It doesn't always give every variation of anything. It's very hard to find a store that's near to where I live, and even if you find a store, they don't have the stock. So it's very hard to actually get your hands on some of these items and actually find out their actual prices. But I obviously have the amazing Wildunfiltered chain. So mine is in the black caviar and it's got the silver hardware. You can see it inside. It's got the burgundy fabric interior. And mine is the older version where it is a press stud. I think now, do they have like a little, I don't know, is it like a little magnetic? Oh, there's something slightly different. Anyway, mine's a little press stud. This was £1,650. Now, I found the receipt for it. I thought it was less than that. I think I've quoted before that it was £1,300 or £1,400 when I bought this, or even less. But no, it was £1,650. And that was 2017. This now, well, I'm hoping I've got the price right, because on the website I did find one that was similar looking to this. I know they've changed them slightly, but it wasn't in caviar on the website, but it was £3,430. So in effect, it's doubled in price. Now, it may be that the caviar version is more, I don't know. That might have been a seasonal piece that I saw on the website. I think I'm correct in saying, though, that these will be in the region of that, which for me, for a wallet on chain, it's just crazy. Oh, so yeah, this is about 6 years old, something like that, 6 or 7 years old, and it's doubled in price. It's doubled in price. And we can't talk about Chanel and Chanel price increases without talking about this beauty. So this is my classic flap in the jumbo size. Mine's in the caviar leather with silver hardware. Now, when I bought my bag, It was 2017, and my goodness, I thought it was an absolute fortune. And it is a fortune. It was £4,450. And I felt so sick, honestly sick paying that. And yeah, but I obviously did it. I didn't feel sick enough that I didn't do it. But I had been looking at that bag for such a long time, and I just couldn't afford it up until that point. And I remember it being 2,800 and then 3,000 something. And by the time I could actually afford it, it had gone up again, and I had to save up again. And eventually I bit the bullet at 4,450. That bag, up until last week or so, was £9,400-ish. However, it's obviously had another price increase in the last few days, and now that on the website just says price on application. Price on application. No idea. It must be in the region of 10,000 now. I think that is Chanel. Honestly, I said this in a previous video when I was talking about the price increases. I think Chanel want to be able to say, particularly in the UK, it's a 10 grand bag. I think that's what they're wanting. I think when all the hype about the Birkin, I remember years and years ago, everyone was saying, no, these bags are 10 grand. And they were never 10 grand because they're not 10 grand now. They might be on the resale market, but trust me, they're not quite that amount of money. But everybody used to talk about them being a 10 grand bag. And I think Chanel are trying to get into that hype of just, yeah, the classic flaps are crazy amounts of money. And yeah, they're not readily available. You've got to order one. You've got to be a good customer, etc. They're just not worth it. I love that. And it will be going, no, it's very sentimental to me because it signified something in my life. However, would I pay 10,000 for one? Absolutely not. No way. It may help me if I ever did want to sell that, which I don't. But the time value of money plus these crazy price increases must make that worth, at least I would get my money back. So will it help the resale market? We will see, won't we? But when will all of this ever end? Well, I suppose it will end if we all stop buying. But none of us do we? We all say that we're not going to pay these crazy prices, and then we do, because it's all relative to the world we're living in now. I'm so old that I can remember when this bag was £100. Now, a lot of you guys won't remember those times, so you will only ever know Louis Vuitton at being £1,000 plus for any bag, and you know, £200-300 for anything in store. You know, it's all relative to your age or when you actually started looking at the prices or being interested in luxury. So yeah, it's bad for us oldies because we remember and we just feel like we're being ripped off. But actually, these companies are not daft, are they? They price everything because they want to sell and because they want to build a brand, and it seems to be working because people are still paying it. They're still clambering for these things. They're even with cost of living crisis and other things going on in the world, there are always people who will have that disposable income. There'll be all sorts of people who come over from other countries into the UK, or people that already live in the UK who 10,000-15,000 for a bag is nothing. And they can literally keep buying, spending. And whilst that is the case, us mere mortals who have to save up for everything, we have a choice, don't we? Nobody is holding a gun to our heads. Nobody is making us or forcing us to buy any of these things. We're making our own informed choices. And if we want those items, we have to pay it. We have to pay it, or we find it pre-loved, or we do without. It's all down to us. So I can sit here and spout about price increases for as long as you like. However, it's not going to change anything unless consumers change their behaviour, which none of us are doing. So yeah, I just thought I would touch on this again because it's in the headlines again, and off we go. Anyway, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you on another one.